Think you know what's happening in Charlotte real estate right now? Well, one of these market trends could cost you or save you thousands, and most people don't even see it coming. So whether you're thinking of buying, selling, or just waiting it out, these numbers matter. And if you ignore them, you could seriously misread the market. Hi, I'm Angel Mercer. I'm a local real estate agent here in Charlotte, and I've helped dozens of families make the move here. And I'd love to help you next. So whether you're just starting out, you're just starting to explore, if you're building new construction, or you're looking for a second or third home, I'm your trusted guide. So call or text me at 980-263-9632 anytime if you need anything. And I'll also leave those details in my description box below. Now I'll cover the 5 most important things you need to know about Charlotte real estate this month and what they mean for your next move.
All right, now let's dive right in. So the Charlotte housing market update for spring 2025. So Charlotte continues to cement its position as one of America's fastest growing metropolitan areas, with the Charlotte, Concord, Gastonia, and surrounding areas now home to over 2.59 million residents as of 2023. So because of this growth, it's because of Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Honeywell, and a lot of the job market growth, making the region a magnet for professionals and a lot of families. So this housing market reflects this dynamic growth with significant changes in pricing, inventory, and buyer behavior that present both challenges and opportunities for buyers and sellers in 2025. So let's hop right in. Let's take a look at average sales price year over year and month over month. So Charlotte's housing market continues to show resilience, with median sale prices reaching $399K in Q1 for 2025. So represents a 3.7% year over year increase. The average home values now stand at $398,000, showing a market more modest 0.4% annual growth. So month over month, data indicates steady but controlled price appreciation, avoiding the dramatic spikes seen in previous years. Market analysts project continued growth between 3.5% and 4.8% over the next 12 months. So at this trajectory, typical home values could reach $413,000 to $418,000 by early 2026, making Charlotte still relatively affordable compared to other high growth metros nationwide. So while we're not in the free fall looking at these statistics here for month over month and quarter after quarter, and we're not seeing wild appreciation either, but this is what a stabilizing market looks like. It means strategy matters more than ever. So especially when it comes to pricing your home or negotiating your offer. So even though it's at a steady pace though, however, with the growth that Charlotte has seen, and because of the growth in the market, analysts still see this pace growing even more exponentially for 2026. So now let's take a look at new listings versus inventory growth. So Charlotte's housing inventory is showing signs of rebalancing in 2025. Active listings are up 12% compared to last year, which is awesome. This provides buyers with significantly more options in the tight market of 2024. So the current inventory stands at 2.8 months supply, still technically below the 6-month threshold for a balanced market, but it represents a substantial 40% increase from last year's extreme shortage. So new construction is primarily concentrated in the luxury and move-up segment. So geographic disparities remain significant though, with central neighborhoods with the high demand areas still experiencing inventory constraints. So meanwhile, South Charlotte areas like Concord are seeing more seller activity, and builders are gradually releasing previously withheld inventory. So buyers now have more options with that increased inventory, and that's changing the whole power dynamic. So if you're selling, you can't just slap a for sale sign in the yard and expect a bidding war. And if you're buying, you've got leverage now if you know how to use it. And I'll explain more in the next slides. So days on market, is it accelerating or is it decelerating? So in Q1 2024, the home selling average was 35 days. Then Up until Q2 to Q3 in 2024, there was a slight slowdown to 38 days. Q4 2024, there was a seasonal or really big seasonal slowdown of 40 days. Q1 2025, the current average is sitting at 41 days. So the average days on market in Charlotte has increased 41 days, indicating a moderately cooling market compared to the frenzied pace of previous years. This represents a gradual deceleration that benefits buyers by providing more time for due diligence and negotiations. So this will be great for people who are relocating, investors, and especially first-time home buyers. I was able to get my buyer $9K towards closing cost assistance. And this was a brand new home. This was a home they didn't think they would be able to get otherwise. But now as a buyer, you have the upper hand. However, market conditions vary dramatically by property condition and location, so well-maintained, appropriately priced homes in desirable neighborhoods continue to still move quickly, often receiving multiple offers within the first week. Meanwhile, the overpriced properties or those requiring significant updates or just don't look well or are not showing well or not in desired neighborhoods are still lingering on the market, sometimes for 60 plus days. So this trends to a story, and the message is clear. Buyers aren't rushing. They're taking their time, they're comparing options, and they're negotiating pretty hard. So if your home isn't moving, pricing and presentation might be off. So now let's head into buyer activity trends, showings, and concessions. So there's 8.4 for showings per listing. This was down 4.7 from last year. There's 15K in average builder incentives. This is up from 8K in 2024. And there's 2.5% typical seller concessions for closing costs and rate buy down. So buyer activity has moderated from the frenetic pace of previous years, with showings per listing dropping to 8.4 on average, still healthy, but notably lower than last year's 12.7 figure. This indicates a more deliberate approach from buyers who have increased options and less pressure to make immediate decisions. So in response, sellers are increasingly offering concessions to attract qualified buyers. Rate buy downs and closing cost assistance have become common negotiating points. New construction builders are particularly aggressive with incentives, often exceeding 10K in value, while typical resale properties frequently include a 2 to 3% in seller paid costs to facilitate transactions. For my recent first-time home buyer, I was able to net them 2 to 5% because of seller paid costs. Then also for my new construction buyer, new construction builder was totally okay with me negotiating an extra $2,500 on top of their already 10K incentive and offering in other upgrades as well. So now is the time to buy. So this is great news for buyers, especially if you've been waiting for a window to get in with less cash up front. And for sellers, don't panic. Concessions don't mean desperation. It's just another type of strategy. So there's a tool there. So they are tools, and the right strategy can net you top dollar. So let's take a look at the mortgage rate impact on market behavior. So rate fluctuations. Mortgage rates bouncing between 6.7% to 7.1% is creating uncertainty, affordability challenges. So every 0.5% rate increase adds approximately $100 to $150 tacked onto your monthly payments. So buy now, refi later. Many buyers enter in the market with plans to finance in 12 to 18 months. There's also creative financing, is it increased use of adjustable rate mortgages and seller financing options. So mortgage interest rates continue to create a significant fork in the road for Charlotte's housing market. So with it fluctuating from 6.7 to 7.1, buyers are faced with some challenging affordability calculations that directs their purchase power. So many buyers are adopting a buy now, refi later strategy so they can enter the market despite the higher interest rates with plans to refinance later. So this approach, combined with increased seller concessions, is really helping to maintain transaction volume despite affordability challenges. So be calm, we can figure something out. This is what we call a buy now, refi later situation, which is smart in this market. You're locking in your homes and the price and betting that rates will come down. If rates drop later, prices might go back up. The window you're looking for might already be open, and if it doesn't feel like it, even if it doesn't feel like it. But that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I can help you figure out a strategy to still get the home you're looking for, maybe even better, even in this dynamic market.
Charlotte's real estate market is shifting, not crashing. And that means opportunity for buyers who are prepared and for sellers who are strategic. So whether you're looking to move in 30 days or 6 months from now, your next step should be an informed one. So if you want to talk through your specific goals, buying your first home, listing your home, listing your current one, investing here in Charlotte, or making a relocation plan, I help people just like you every week. So call or text me at 980-263-9632 or check the links below to get in touch with me. I'd love to help you make your next move with confidence. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a local update. I've got more Charlotte tips and community spotlights coming your way next week. Talk to you soon.